Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second annual SPOONY Awards, hosted by yours truly, JP Spoonmore. Like all the other awards this year, this ceremony is way later than expected. Here's how the show works. I will briefly introduce the 16 awards, list their nominees, and then open the envelope to announce the winner. And then, like all the other award shows, the winner will have 43 seconds to thank everyone, or in my case, defend why that movie won, before the music cuts them off. All of my thank you speeches will be improvised on the spot, no edits, before the music cuts me off. Hilarity will ensue. I'm trying to keep this video short because all other award shows take way too long, so without further ado, the SPOONYs. Starting off with how a film ends, we have Best Credits, a category I was not expecting to be blown away by, but this year Hollywood decided the post-credits scenes and Easter eggs are not doing it. Let's bring back behind-the-scenes montages. Thank you. So yes, this is the We're So Back award. And the nominees are Deadpool and Wolverine, The Fall Guy, Kneecap, Sing Sing, and the SPOONY for Best Credits goes to Sing Sing. I went into this movie blind, not knowing anything. I kind of guessed it was based on a true story, but the real special nature of this film is revealed in the credits. And so when I watched it, I was kind of blown away by somehow like the ending of this film. The credits that the actors, who the actors are, is what makes this film so special, and I wasn't ready for that. So if you like going into movies blind, just use that information. If you really want to know how special this movie is before you go in, I do recommend looking it up because the credits are actually the most important part of the movie. Our next award is Best Poster, pretty much the opposite of the last award, and another surprise this year. Whoever thought, let's make posters red again, really earned their paycheck. And the nominees are Civil War, Love Lies Bleeding, Alien Romulus. And the SPOONY for Best Poster goes to Love Lies Bleeding. Best Poster, it kind of speaks for itself. Just look at it. Katie O'Brien was a former bodybuilder, and the fact that this movie is kind of about bodybuilding and in a very retro 80s way, this poster is like the perfect poster. It's legit the reason I saw the movie. The fact that it's like her flexing and then the 80s logo text with like the glowy red and the gun and like the black background. It's perfectly designed. It's legit why I went to go see it. Our next award is Best Sequence. Sequences is what I would call a series of small, connected scenes that build up to one climactic moment in the story. Think of the trench run in Star Wars, or the build up to the Trinity test in Oppenheimer. It's not the standouts that shine, it's the culmination of montage cuts and ensemble characters that make you remember the magic. And the nominees are Getty Prime in Dune Part 2, Luigi's at 8 in The Substance, the final montage in Nickel Boys, Louis Luansky's Manifesto in The Beast. And the SPOONY for Best Sequence goes to Luigi's at 8, The Substance. The date night sequence, Luigi's at 8 is what I'm calling it, is the best moment in The Substance. And The Substance, every scene is amazing, but this one really stands out because this movie is all about a perspective that I don't know. And to be perfectly honest, when it comes to like being stood up at dates, I'm on the receiving end sometimes. So it's interesting to be watching a movie that is existing in the opposite world that I have witnessed and showing something that I've thought I've seen before in a new way. And that's really the whole point of this movie. So the fact that it really nails it on something that you think is familiar but not is amazing. Our next award is Best Scene, the antithesis of the last award. The best scene goes to the individual moment in a film that you can watch on YouTube and still feel the special sauce. Think of You Can't Handle the Truth from A Few Good Men, or really any musical number in a Disney film. And the nominees are Paul Rides Shai Hulud in Dune Part 2, What's Your Place in Sing Sing, I Brought My Long Legs in Long Legs, Octobos Raid on the War Rig in Furiosa. And the SPOONY for Best Scene goes to Paul Rides Shai Hulud in Dune Part 2. Best scene, Paul riding Shai Hulud is, first off, it's half the trailer. So they knew this scene was going to be kind of the showstopper going in, and I knew it going in. But the way Denis Villeneuve builds up to this scene and how he films his characters in the desert and how the desert is its own character and just the slow, quiet, atmospheric build-up that makes the tension, and then the release is this huge bombastic score. It's all of the best parts of this film packed into one amazing scene. You have Javier Bardem's humor, you have Zendaya's amazing personality, and then Timothée Chalamet becoming the big Hollywood star that we are witnessing in real time. It's all in this one scene. Our next award is Biggest Surprise. This award is pretty self-explanatory. It's the film that far exceeded even optimistic expectations. The underdog no one saw being a hit. The one you root for after you found out it existed 2 days ago. The nominees are Longlegs, Conclave, The Beast, and the SPOONY for Biggest Surprise goes to Conclave. There were a lot of big surprises this year. This is one of the hardest awards that I was chewing over. But Conclave, I'm giving it to Conclave because it was saying a lot of the quiet parts out loud in terms of the politics and the Catholic Church. It's saying some secrets, some skeletons in the closets on both sides. And it was really impressive how bold they were towards naming specific things like anti-Vatican II statements and what certain countries and certain pockets of the church think of homosexuality. It was really fun and thrilling, but it had the teeth that I wasn't expecting a big Hollywood film to do in terms of politics. Our next award is Best Legacy Sequel. This was the year of legacy sequels. A Quiet Place Day 1, Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, The First Omen, Twisters, Transformers 1, Gladiator 2, and Mufasa. Movies with numbers and subtitles. This is a preview for the next 10 years. I would say this is unfortunate, but my favorite movie is Creed, so I have no room to talk. The SPOONY for Best Legacy Sequel goes to The First Omen. First Omen was the only legacy sequel I saw this year as this is the only piece of the franchise that I knew about, and it was so good that I watched the original Omen film from the 70s. Like, imagine a random franchise film like Star Wars being so good that you watch the entire franchise the next day. It's that good, and it's also the best one in the franchise. The new director and star and cinematographer did a spectacular job that really shines, even though there's some corporate, we have to put this in because it's a prequel. But in terms of the filmmaking, is amazing. And the trailer is the best trailer of the year. I had to say that. Our next award is Best Foreign Film. Foreign produced projects written in non-English. The nominees are Kneecap, The Beast, Evil Does Not Exist, and the SPOONY for Best Foreign Film goes to Kneecap. This is my weakest award because I didn't really see any foreign films this year. My bad. But Kneecap is about the language, the dying language, the highly politicized language of Irish in the Northern Ireland ecosystem, and how they play with the language, especially with the original hip-hop band. They're actually playing themselves, which is really impressive. And the fact that I'm biased because I minored in Irish language and literature. So of course I'm going to pick this one. Even though half the movie is in English, I do think it really stands out as a foreign language film because the language is the whole point of it existing. Our next award is Best Animated Feature. Animation deserves its own award because it's its own medium. It's not just a genre. Fantastic Mr. Fox wouldn't have the charm and snappy pace if it was live action. And the Lego Movie wouldn't even be possible without Phil Lord and Chris Miller putting their creativity into every frame. And the nominees are Flow, The Wild Robot, Transformers 1, and the SPOONY for Best Animated Film goes to The Wild Robot. I will say, in terms of animation this year, America was really lacking, and I was lacking in not seeing any of the anime films that a lot of people were hyping up this year, or Memoir of a Snail. The kind of weirder ones, that's on me. But in terms of the commercial films, I will admit the one good American animated one was The Wild Robot. And if you are a parent, or if you are a kid with a close relationship with your parent, watch this movie with them. It will make you cry, and that's why I'm giving it to it, because it has a lot of heart and emotion, and it is beautiful, and the performances are great. It's kind of beating Pixar at its own game when Disney's too busy doing sequels. Oh, okay. Our next award is Best Popcorn Flick. Movies are made to be entertaining just as they are works of art, most of the time more so. This award goes to the film that you can watch while you shove fistfuls of popcorn down your face and watch it with all of your friends as you make jokes the entire time. And the nominees are Challengers, Dune Part 2, Anora, and the SPOONY for Best Popcorn Flick goes to Challengers. This might be my new secret favorite Luca Guadagnino movie. He got heavily snubbed this year in the Oscars, and I think this is one of the best movies of the year, unfortunately. It's so fun. It's so energetic. The score is amazing. Zendaya, whatever project she chooses, she might not be the best actor in it. Josh O'Connor's in this one. But she knows how to choose a project. So whatever she picks, watch it. And the energy of this movie and the love triangle is so funny. The churro scene, love it. All the different little quirks. And it's just a really funny, energetic, intense, thrilling movie. And it's about tennis. It makes tennis sexy. And I don't even care about tennis. And that's just the most impressive part about it. Our next award is more of a personal one, Best Werewolf Film. Vampires may be winning the box office, but werewolf fans ate just as well this year. It's not that these films are good, it's the frequency that demands celebration. Where vampires hunt alone with great success, the wolf hunts in packs. And the nominees are Werewolves, Night Bitch, A Family Pack, The Beast Within. And the SPOONY for Best Werewolf Film goes to Werewolves. Werewolves isn't exactly a good movie. None of these are. I'm looking at you, Beast Within. That was trash. But it has fun with the genre. It's more of a zombie structure, but with really good practical effects with the werewolves. And it's really a B movie. It's like you would find it at a VHS store and be like, what's this? And just have the time of your life watching it, not caring that it's trash. Like, it had such a low budget. Every character has the biggest machine gun you can ever get on set, and none of the werewolves get shot. They couldn't afford the squibs with the practical effects. That's the level we're dealing with. And Lou Diamond Phillips in a hazmat suit just freaking out, like thrashing his head around. It's just amazing. It's so fun. Go and check it out. Our next award is Most Underrated. This award is for the film that deserved the hype that never came. The better than it should have been that never got the chance to make its mark. In a fandom-focused market, these will definitely be cult classics when they drop on Netflix. The nominees are The First Omen, Sing Sing, The Beast, and the SPOONY for Most Underrated goes to Sing Sing. Yeah, I'm giving 2 awards to the movie that didn't even get nominated in the Oscars pretty much, except for Coleman Domingo. This movie got really screwed by its release window and strategy. A24 kind of abandoned it and picked up Brutalist and other movies because they had a better chance at winning the awards. I don't know. I don't know why they dropped this movie, but it's honestly really depressing because Sing Sing is the most heartfelt and optimistic movie I've seen in years. It argues that life is worth living because of the art we create. So please, please, if you can find a way to watch this movie, go right now. Our next award is most likely to be better on Rewatch. It's in the name. These are the films I saw that are well made, well received, but I personally didn't get it on first watch. You have to be in the right mood to watch some films, and these ones deserve a second chance. And the nominees are Nickel Boys, Furiosa, I Saw the TV Glow, The Beast. And the SPOONY for most likely to be better on Rewatch goes to The Beast. The Beast, I did not know anything about it going in. This is the one film that I fully recommend you read the plot summary before watching it, because it's jumping all over the place, and it really doesn't hold your hand until that slam dunk of an ending. Wow. So I was lost probably 60% of this movie. I had no idea what was going on. But it's a fantastic movie, and I think it has so much to say about incel culture, how dangerous it is to be a woman throughout history for different reasons, and the threat of AI on our future society and present society, and kind of the apocalyptic nature about lovers not being able to meet up because of apocalyptic events throughout history. So just read up on it before you go see it. Our next award is Best Screenplay. As someone who has written multiple rough drafts of screenplays, these things are way more complex than they seem. Character development, story structure, set pieces, iconography, everything starts on the page. And the best scripts make storytelling look easy. The nominees are Challengers, The Substance, Conclave, and the SPOONY for Best Screenplay goes to The Substance. I'm giving The Substance Best Screenplay because of the premise. It's just unbeatable. I think in the third act there's some pacing problems. I don't know if that's more directing style or if it is in the script, but in terms of like the bones of the story, it's so fresh and fierce, and it has the teeth about the industry and all sorts of things about beauty standards, and it just goes for it all the way. And it's really funny that there are other body horror filmmakers like Cronenberg out there that don't really get recognized for awards. So the fact that this is kind of really being recognized is so much fun to see, because people that don't watch body horror are watching this. Go check it out. Our next award is Best Director. This year had a lot of new faces with names I can't pronounce. But from what I've seen of their work, the future looks pretty good. The nominees are Denis Villeneuve, Coralie Fargeau, Brady Corbet, and the SPOONY for Best Director goes to Denis Villeneuve. This award was the hardest one to give out because some of these directors had nothing to work with and they made the most of it. And this director, Denis Villeneuve, had everything going with him and against him, and he landed the plane and made it look easy. And out of all of his big budget sci-fi films, there's kind of a cold, heartless taste to the world, and somehow he's really elevated himself by putting in humor, by putting in humanity into the individual characters. A lot of his statements are really broad strokes about mankind, but this one, the broad strokes are painted with very specific individuals that really have a familiar feel to them, mostly from the actors, but I think from the script as well. Denis did an amazing job adapting the impossible. I hope he wins, but he got snubbed. Here it is. This next award almost broke me. This is the worst picture of 2024. The nominees are Unfrosted, Madam Web, Borderlands, and the SPOONY for worst picture of 2024 goes to, please be Madam Web. Red won? Oh. I'm not doing this award next year. This hurt. Actively hunting for the worst picture of 2024 kind of broke me. I wanted to give it to Madam Web because there's some bad movies like Megalopolis and Madam Web that are so bad that they're a blast to watch, and I'll remember those screenings for a long time. But then there's Red One, where I watched it on Prime Video, and I couldn't even finish it because it just felt lifeless, like a corporate gray sludge. And just the fact that the North Pole is run by Amazon drones is like Jeff Bezos saying, your kids can't enjoy Christmas without him. And I hate that. I feel like that's why he made the movie. And Dwayne Johnson sucks and Chris Evans is even worse. I hate this movie. I'm done. Our next award needs no introduction. The moment you've all been waiting for. The nominees for Best Picture are Dune Part 2, The Substance, Sing Sing, and The Spoonie for Best Picture of 2024 goes to Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is the biggest, loudest, boldest, fiercest movie of the year, has a lot of things to say about propaganda and religious messiah figures standing up, pretending to be against oppression when really they have selfish aims of revenge. It's very timely. It's very loud. So, of course, I'm going to give it to this movie. I'm kind of biased in that way. But again, it felt like an impossible film to adapt. And I think Denis Villeneuve is slowly becoming my generation's Peter Jackson, and that there's this huge text that everyone loves and everyone says it's impossible to adapt, and here he is making it look easy. I know Dune Messiah is going to be a different beast altogether, but I think he really landed it this year, so we got to celebrate it now. It really got snubbed, but for me, this is the best picture of 2024. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the second annual SPOONY Awards. 2024 was a volatile year for the entertainment industry, but at least we got some good films along the way. If your favorite of the year wasn't mentioned, list in the comments and I'll try to see what award I would put it under. See y'all in the new year, where Snow White makes $1 billion, Superman pisses off all the Snyder fanboys, and Captain America flops. See ya.
So go back to the club.
Lou Diamond Phillips in like a hazmat suit, the first 5 minutes of the movie going, it's so funny.